Hey, what's up guys? Autofanatic. So today's video, I'm going to be discussing and reviewing the new griotsgarage G8 Mini Random Orbital Polisher. I'm going to be showing you the features, the design of it. I'm going to be comparing it also to their other G9 machine. I also have a brand new, original griotsgarage 3-inch Random Orbital that I specifically bought just to compare and contrast in this video. I'm going to be showing you some of the pads, polishes that I've been using. I'm also going to be showing you a tool here by Mirka, and there's a reason why I'm going to be showing you that. I'm also going to be showing you my Flex miniature 3-inch rotary, and I'm going to compare and contrast a lot of the design attributes of the new G8 by griotsgarage. And I'm also going to be showing you guys a lot of demonstration clips because I did a full paint correction on my Shelby GT350R recently. I have so far over 50 hours on this machine, and I have a lot of good feedback to give you guys, and I'm going to show you guys a lot of tips and tricks and where you guys are going to be able to use this on your cars, and I'm going to explain to you everything from start to finish. Also, a full disclosure, this video is not sponsored. I am not sponsored by griotsgarage, and I did not accept money by griotsgarage to shoot this video. The opinions expressed in this video are my professional opinions from using this tool over the course of the last 2 months. So I'm going to get the camera on the tripod. I'm going to show you guys some of the features between all these machines. I'm going to explain to you how awesome this tool really is. We're going to do a sound demo as well, and we're going to get the video started right now, so hang tight. All right, guys, so this is the two machines. I have the G8 and the G9 on the bench, and I'm just going to show you guys some of the design features. They're very similar in the body and the architecture. The main difference you're going to notice on the G9, you have this platypus front end. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. You also have the double shot rubber on the front with some finger grips, which I actually really like. Now, if you look at the G8, it kind of mimics that as well, but it has a rounded front shoulder. Now, when I picked up the machine, I realized how heavy it was. I says, well, I don't know how this is really going to work until I start using it, but I was concerned that it was going to probably go out of control a little bit. But to be honest with you, after using it for over 50 hours, I actually got to tell you, the control is outstanding. The vibration is pretty much none. And if you look at all the rubber that's designed into this, it has a very efficient 700-watt motor, whereas this machine here comes with a 1,000-watt motor. To be honest with you, on something this small, I don't think you're really going to need it. Now, another thing I'll show you guys too, in the package when you buy a G8, you will get the small backing plate if you want to go down to a 2-inch. To be honest with you, I have not used the 2-inch on this machine. I personally feel that this is not a replacement for a nano polisher for some really tight recesses and all. But this tool will pretty much get 90% of those really hard and difficult undercuts done, and I'm going to show you guys on the demonstration clips of the video exactly what I'm talking about. So it does give you the 2-inch backing plate. It also gives you a little toolkit here, and you're going to get the instruction manual. I'll pull that out. You're going to get an extra set of brushes, which I don't really think you're going to need that unless you're using this thing every day. And you're going to get the replacement wrench so you can remove the backing plates. And it comes in the kit. Now, the one thing I'm going to show you guys that I feel has been one of the most innovative things on this new set of polishers that griotsgarage is producing is the removable power cord, okay? Now, the removable power cord, I have a tool here on the table. This is one of my Mirka Deros. This is a brushless, very high-end dual action sander, and I actually use this for sanding and polishing for one of my businesses. Now, when I first bought this tool, the one feature I loved about it was the removable power cord. And if you look at it there, it's very similar to the design of the griotsgarage. And I actually talked to one of the team developers of this new system, and they said that this was something that really interests them, and that's why they incorporated this type of design into their new line of polishers. And I absolutely love it, because what ends up happening is when you put your plug in there, when you're done with your tool, what do we end up doing? We end up wrapping the cord all the way around. It puts tension on the back end. The cord is going to be the failure spot. So on my table, I'm going to show you quickly. This is my Flex little 3-inch compact. You can see this is the way I store it in the drawer. And it's very obvious. You can see what's going on right here. My cord is already starting to fatigue. I've had this unit for a couple of years. This unit actually broke a couple of times. But you could see as you wrap it up, it puts tension on this. This is going to crack and eventually cause a failure. So by going with this removable cord design, completely eliminates that. It'll never ever happen. And I absolutely love it, because when you store the tools in my cabinet, it just makes it a lot neater. You don't have to worry about the cords being all stretched and wrapped over and possibly ripped. So that's one of the features that I absolutely love about this new line of tools. So I have to commend them on it, and I believe that they have patents on all of these new designs. So the difference too between the 9 and the 8, of course, 9mm orbit, 8mm orbit. Now, if you look carefully, the trigger on the 9 is a little bit shorter than the 8. Not really sure why they did that, and I was a little concerned before I put the machine into use if I was actually going to like this. But to be honest with you, I like the fact that it's got a soft start trigger versus almost every smaller polisher on the market just has an on and off switch. So the reason I don't like the on and off switch is because you tend to splatter your compound and polishes no matter how careful you are. It just happens all the time. So this particular flex tool is really an adaptive right angle grinder that was converted over into a polisher. That's really what it is. There's nothing innovative about this. It doesn't have any kind of rubber encapsulation. It doesn't have any kind of special features to it, but it is a solid bulletproof tool. And this tool I use for metal refinishing for one of my businesses. So I don't really love this. I personally hate this, this on and off switch. And that's why in this particular case, you have the soft start trigger. So as you're getting started on your project, you could hit your trigger, get up to speed, you could adjust your dial, and then you could just lock it in, and then you could kind of do your panel, your bumper, your spoilers, or whatever. And that's why I love this. So going forward, I'm going to show you guys, we're going to get the G9 out of the way. I'm going to show you guys, this is the original 3-inch random orbital by Griots Garage. This has been sold for years, and like I said, this was a pretty popular tool. This has a 5mm orbit, so they definitely upped the game with that. So this goes from 3,500 to 10,000 orbits per minute. It has a very weak 240-watt motor, variable 6-speed control, soft start, constant speed. So like I want to show you here, so this tool is brand new in the box, and of course you have the attached power cord, which I explained to you when I showed you my flex. You're going to end up wrapping this around. This eventually is going to fail, and that's just what it's going to be. So when you hold this in your hand, it's much lighter. It's not very stout, but then look, you just have your simple on and off switch, similar to my flex, similar to almost every compact 3-inch tool in the market. You just have this on and off switch because they just don't go to the drawing board and create a tool from scratch. And this time around, Griots Garage is the only company that I know of in the world that went with a clean slate design and created a proprietary design for their compact 3-inch and adaptable 2-inch design. So you can see this here, and it's a relatively decent machine. I think these were about $100, but to be honest with you, if this is $100 and this is $129, I think it's a no-brainer for you guys to upgrade, to the better model. So I'm going to plug this in right now. Also, the cord quality is very cheap on the old machine. So this is the cord quality on the new one. You can see it's very heavy duty, and I'm going to just show you guys quick how simple it just, and you hear that right there, it snaps in and it's not coming out. So actually Nick Griot does some demonstrations of flinging this around his head. I don't recommend doing that, but I think he was just trying to demonstrate and how secure this plug is once it's captive into the machine. So you just click it in and you're done. And when you're done with your machine, you put it away, you wrap your cord up, and it's safe and it's out of sight. So we're gonna get the power cord down, and we're gonna plug these both machines in. I'm just going to show you guys just a sound demo if you guys are interested in that. So the speed control on the original is back here. It's similar to like my Flex. It's not the most ergonomic of tools, but this will get your job done. If you do have this, they are doing an upgrade, I believe, where you could send this in and they'll put a pro rate towards the new one, FYI. So it's relatively quiet. And it sounds smooth. There's really no vibration out of this machine, but then again, it's only a 5mm orbit. So we're going to plug in the G8. I'm going to show you guys because I absolutely love this machine. Get that going there. So you see that's the soft trigger start. So you can adjust your speed. Let's lock it in place. So that's speed 1. And you can hear how smooth it is. There's no chatter. There's no gear noise. Speed 2. 3. Now you start to feel the power. maximum speed. So there's no chatter, there's no vibration. And then when you're done, pull the cord out and put it away. I also noticed with the removable cord, when you're working with the tool in between sessions, it makes it a lot easier, especially if you have the cord wrapped around your shoulder. You could pull it off the panel, unplug the cord, and kind of just get the cord away from you. Sometimes, believe it or not, when you're working on cars, the cords get tangled on your legs and behind you, and it could also be a little bit of a struggle, especially if you have a 25-foot cord. So this particular tool comes with a 10-foot cord. You do have the optional 25-foot cord. Let me just show you guys a little bit of the consumables on the table that I've used, and we're going to discuss that as well. All right, guys, so over on the consumable end, now everything in their Boss polishing range will work. Now, as far as what I've used on the G8 and G9 so far, primarily the go-to is the griotsgarage fast correcting cream. I absolutely love this. It finishes out so damn well that I haven't felt the need to use some of the finer polishes. So fast correcting cream works extremely well, and I also tend to use it with an orange or a white pad, depending on what I'm working on. Now, the white pad is, of course, their somewhat most aggressive foam pad, but you could also use it with the microfiber pads as well. Now, if you guys are doing something that's got some contours, I like the thicker pad by OptiPad. These tend to work really well, and I'm going to show you in the demonstration portion of the video on how I use these as well. Now, the question I had when I was using this machine, I was like, well, you know, only an 8mm Orbit, how powerful is it, and can I do real correction? So these are some smaller for the 2-inch backing plate. You got some microfiber pads here. When I was using the machine, I had a lot of spots on my car that I had to be wet sanded. So I pretty much started out with some 3000 3M Trizac. And just to do some testing, I says, well, how am I going to be able to bring that back up to life with this small machine with a small Orbit? Well, I tried the foam pads. That didn't cut it. But what I'm going to show you guys, and hopefully this will be a good tip for anybody out there that's going to do any kind of serious correction and you're going to do some sanding, you're going to take a microfiber pad like I show you here without the foam interference on the back. And then you're just going to attach that right to your backing plate. So you're going to have all the transfer of the energy of the machine go right into this pad. Now, what I found with the 3M Trizac, if you sand the paint properly, you can use the fast correcting cream, but you're going to have to make several passes. If you want to knock it out quicker, I used the 3M Perfect It, and this stuff just worked in one pass as well. It just doesn't finish out as well as the fast correcting cream. So what I was doing on some of the spots, I was sanding and polishing with the 3M correcting cream. Then I was switching pads over to an orange pad, and then I was using the fast correcting cream to finish out. So it's pretty much, you're going to have to find a system that's going to work for you and play around. I mean, you're not married to any of these polishes and pads, but to be honest with you, it's such a good system that I recommend if you do pick up one of these kits and you don't already have these polishes, if you're going to pick up one polish out of this whole line, get the fast correcting cream. That is a must-have. This is one of my favorite polishes. I actually buy this by the gallon and I refill the smaller bottles. Now, as far as pads go, I don't really use the yellow pads. This is really good for like a delicate surface. Like on my particular GT350R, the door mirrors and the rear trunk panel is a molded gloss plastic, very sensitive. This pad is good for something like that, but as far as paint, I don't really use these as well. They're just a little too soft. I tend to use the orange. I use the microfiber with the foam interference, and I also use the various OptiPads depending on what I'm cutting. So let's get over to the car right now. I'm going to show you guys with the tool in my hand exactly how I used it, and I'm going to put some demonstration clips and tell you a little bit about that right now. All right, guys, so we're over on the carbon fiber spoiler of my 350R. You could see how this tool just makes a lot of sense to kind of go in there. And in this clips that I'm going to show you, you can see how I polished out the carbon fiber spoiler from left to right with perfection. Very little effort. You know, I pretty much found with the orange pad and the fast correcting cream, it just worked phenomenal. Now, depending on the correction you're going to be doing, you have to go slower with your travel speed and kind of keep your pressure constant on the front snout. So you don't want to go too fast because this machine has a lower orbit rotation. So if you're going to do some serious cutting, that's really what I recommend. So let's get over to another part of the car. Okay, so now on my quarter panel, you can see how the body comes down and it has this flat section right here. Now, as the flat section comes down, it starts to taper and disappear into the front of the quarter panel. Now, if you're using a larger tool with a 5-inch or a 6-inch pad, there's a very good chance, no matter how careful you are, that the edge of the pad is going to hit this particular area here. So what ends up happening, you know, I use the tool on the C-pillar over here, and then over here, and then I used a larger machine to kind of blend it all in. So what's great, like I'll show you in this clip, you could see how controllable and versatile this tool is for some of these design attributes of a lot of these modern cars today. So it just seems to work, and it works really well, and you also eliminate the risk of possibly burning the adjacent paint from the edge if you try to get a little bit too close and you're trying to stay away from the frontal edge. So as you can see here, you know, it's just the perfect size with the 3-inch pad to do the A pillars on just about any car, also the B pillars on a sedan. And you can see it here, it's just effortless. Very, very little effort to control the machine. It does the job well, and I actually love it. No vibration, no fatigue. I haven't had any fatigue with this machine so far, and that's why I actually been using it so much for a lot of little projects around the garage. So also, we're gonna go over to the door mirrors. You guys could see here. And now the door mirrors on my car, this is not a gloss black painted finish. This is a molded black plastic finish, the way it's molded from injection molding. So, you know, you're always gonna wanna tape up your ABS plastic trim, and then you're just gonna make a couple of passes, and then you're gonna experiment with pad and with polish you're really gonna like, that's gonna do the best job for you. Now, something interesting that I wanna show you guys, area too, where the G8 becomes really efficient is down here. Show you guys right here below the emblems. You know, you can very easily get in there. Also down here by the bottom of the fender, you can see that there. You can kind of get this tool pretty much anywhere. All on the bottom of the door, the bottom of the rockers, everywhere. So that's why I really love this tool so much, is the versatility, the power, the ergonomic, and how well it actually does correction. So now, something I'll show you here. So here's the driver's side door, and this is where you'll run into a little bit of an issue. Okay, so you see where you'll bump into the rear view mirror. So that's gonna limit where you could go around this particular zone, I call it. So you're not gonna be able to get really into the zone unless you pull the door mirror and disassemble it and get it off the car. But if you're doing any heavy correction, you're probably gonna wanna do that anyway. Some cars you do have to pull them apart if you really wanna do a good job. Let's get over to the front bumper. You guys can see here, you know, the tool, the 3-inch pad just kind of fits all along the bumper. No matter where I hold the camera, you could see it there. And this is just some footage of me doing the front bumper when I was doing the paint correction. So, you know, it's relatively easy to use and manage, no risk of really burning the paint. I think if you're gonna do heavier correction, like I said, drop down to a plain microfiber pad without the foam interference and play around with some more aggressive compounds and polishes. And I think you're gonna be very, very surprised at the results you're gonna get. I was actually shocked that I was able to wet sand hard clear coat and bring it back to life with this little machine without me having to get the rotary or my Boss G21. So let's get over to the table right now. We'll wrap up this video. All right, guys, so that's my complete review and demonstration video of the new griotsgarage G8 3-inch to 2-inch random orbital polisher. Absolutely love it. I have really no complaints about this machine whatsoever, and I'm actually very excited to see what they do with the new 15 to 21 models that they're most likely going to be revising soon. So stay tuned to the channel for more content. Also, follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be giving away this brand new original 3-inch griotsgarage polisher as well. I don't really need it. I bought this particular tool specifically to show you guys on camera the differences between the first generation and this new exciting generation of the G8 and G9 models. So hope you guys like this video. You got some tips and tricks. If you guys have the G8 or the G9 machine, if you've seen my earlier video on the G9 when it came out, please post your comments in the video below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear some feedback as far as how you like the machine, what have you used it for, and everything in between. Also, FYI, believe it or not, I actually used these aggressive microfiber pads on the machine to do metal polishing. So to do any kind of metal polishing, if you're doing exhaust tips or whatever on a motorcycle, put a couple of dabs of your favorite metal polish and use this machine. The results are absolutely phenomenal. So stay tuned to the channel for more automotive content. Thanks for watching this video. And like I said, subscribe to my Instagram and stay tuned for the giveaway of the new griotsgarage 3-inch random orbital, because I just don't need it. I bought it just to show you guys in this particular video. So I'll see you guys soon, and stay tuned for the next video.